Hey guys, hoping all is well with everyone. So in this video we're going to be continuing our introduction of the wildlife fact file series with category number 5, and we're going to be buzzing into our next category with insects and spiders, and we're going to introduce it with the honeybee fact file card. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the fact file series so far. We're still going through the introductory cards so you guys can see each and every type, and then we're going to kind of go a little bit more randomized as we go forward and going by requests for certain animals. But to introduce the honeybee, it is in the class Insecta, it is in the order Hymenoptera, it is in the family Apidae, and its genus and species is Apis mellifera. The honeybee is found throughout the world and is highly valued for the honey it produces. The industrious honeybee is thought to have originated in Asia. The honeybee uses a unique behavior to communicate the location of food to other bees in its colony. After spotting an abundant food source, the worker returns to the hive and performs a dance. The movements indicate the direction and distance of the food source. Life cycle. The life cycle of a honeybee begins when the queen lays an egg in each cell of the comb. A fertilized egg will develop into a female worker. An unfertilized egg produces a male drone. The egg hatches 3 days later, and the larva is fed nutritious royal jelly that is produced by the workers. After several days, worker and drone bee larvae are fed honey and pollen. A larva fed solely on royal jelly will develop into a queen bee. During the 8 days it takes the larva to develop, it undergoes several molts before spinning a silk cocoon with the egg cell. Inside the cocoon, the larva pupates. It develops into its adult form. The worker bees maintain the colony. For the first 2 weeks of their lives, they clean the hive and feed the larvae. After the 10th day, they begin building the comb cells. From days 16 to 20, they reserve and store nectar and pollen. On day 20, they briefly guard the entrance of the hive before leaving it to collect nectar and pollen for their remaining weeks of life. Did you know? Enzymes in the worker bee's stomachs turn nectar into a honey-like substance. This substance is then regurgitated into storage cells in the hive, where it is fanned by other workers in order to evaporate the excess water. The result is honey, the bee's vital source of food during the winter months. Nature Watch. Honeybees are relatively large insects, and therefore easy to spot outdoors. They suck nectar from flowers and pick up pollen on their bodies. They are often scraping the pollen into pouches on their hind legs. Honeybees are active mainly in warmer months. Even then, they prefer to stay in their hives on particularly cool or windy days. Defenses. The honeybee's sting is a powerful method of defense. When threatened, it pierces its victim with its stinger, which is attached to the bee's venom gland. As the bee struggles to free itself from its victim, its lower abdomen tears away, causing death. Despite its painful sting, the honeybee has many predators. Birds eat honeybees in large numbers. Hornets pose another threat. Common wasps attack and kill honeybees foraging on flowers. Hunting wasps kill them and then take them back to their nest to feed to their young. Caterpillars of the wax moth destroy the honeybee combs. The larvae of the bee wolf beetle feed on the bee larvae inside the hive. Feeding and habits. Wild honeybees build their nests inside old, hollow trees, under cliff overhangs, or in cave entrances. Today, most of the honeybee nests in artificial hives provided by beekeepers. Throughout the spring and summer, worker bees leave the nests to collect nectar and pollen, to which then they produce honey. The nectar is stored in their crops, or their stomachs, while the pollen that collects on their bodies is scraped into pouches on their hind legs. If a worker discovers a plentiful source of nectar, it communicates the location to other bees by doing a special dance on the surface of the honeycomb. It is the queen bee who regulates the nest's activity. In her life, which lasts anywhere from 1 to 7 years, she will lay up to 1,500 eggs a day. The queen dominates the colony by use of a scent called pheromone. When female workers are exposed to this scent, they are prevented from sexually maturing. When the nest comes too crowded to be affected by her scent, or when she grows too old, the queen leaves the nest and the new queen emerges. Here's a couple pictures. So, in each egg cell, a larva hatches and is fed by the workers. Before its final molt, the larva's cell is capped with wax. 2 young bees are visible breaking out. So that's this picture right here. And then a swarm of honeybees pauses on a branch of a tree during its search for a suitable site to establish a new colony. That's going to be the center picture. And then the barbed stinger of a bee is this picture right here. Key facts. Characteristics. Length. Queen 4/5 of an inch. Drones 3/4 of an inch. Workers 3/5 of an inch. Coloration and form. Queens are dark and long-bodied. Drones are larger than workers, no stinger. Workers orange-banded. Mouth parts proboscis. Wings 2 pairs hooked together. Breeding. Eggs up to 1,500 laid per day. Hatching time is 3 days. Lifestyle. Habits. Live in large colonies. Diet. Nectar and pollen. Lifespan. Queens 7 years. Drones 4 to 5 weeks. Workers 8 weeks. Related species. The giant honeybee Aphis dorsata, found in the tropics, builds huge free-form combs that hang from the trees. Range of the honeybee and distribution. Believed to have originated in India, honeybees are now found throughout the world wherever flowers grow. Conservation. The bee's economic value should guarantee its survival, but bad weather, disease, and predators all present dangers. Special adaptations of the honeybee. Wings. The honeybee has 4 wings attached in pairs. Stinger. The honeybee dies after using its stinger. Because the stinger is attached to the bee's abdomen by tiny barbs, the abdomen is ripped apart and if the stinger is used. Pollen sacs. Pollen that collects on the honeybee's body is stored in pouches on the hind legs. Eyes. The honeybee has compound eyes. Unlike humans, it is sensitive to ultraviolet light. Legs. Feathery hairs on its front legs collect pollen. Stiff hairs on the middle legs brush it from the front legs. Wax scales. Wax secreted from glands forms the comb in the beehive. Here's the picture of the special adaptations and distribution. So there's the range. And there's the special adaptations. And that is the honeybee. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I think honeybees are a really pivotal part of a lot of conservation these days. But I hope you guys enjoyed this introduction to the insects and spiders category, and I hope to see you guys next time where we'll continue our wildlife fact file series, and hope to see you guys soon. And again, thank you so much for watching.